Hi and welcome back. In this video, we want to integrate PayPal so that we can see what we can do with this option. So let me come back here into integrations, and if you're not already here, the easiest way to get here is you go to my account and then integrations. So if I scroll down, here is PayPal. I'll just click on it. And we're going to need to create an API username, and we're going to need to create an API password and then signature. So all of this I can do on my PayPal account. Okay, so we did an integration of Facebook, and if you need to integrate all these other things, you can see what you can do with them. So in this one, we want to integrate PayPal, and I will need all these details from PayPal. So I've been able to set up a sample PayPal account, and what I need, if I scroll all the way down, I have these seller preferences. So even if you are on the business PayPal account, you just need to get to where you have your seller preferences, because all PayPal accounts will have that. Whether you're using a business account or a personal account, you'll have all these seller preferences. So where I need to go is this API access. I just click on update. So once you're here, you'll have this option 1 and option 2. The option that you want is request API credentials. So I will click on view API signature under option 2. And when I'm here, these are the details I'm going to need to put them here. So let's start by the API username. API username, click on show to show it. And then I can just click on it. Control C, Control V. Then the next one is API password. So the API password, click on show, and then I will copy it. Control C, Control V, and then I will need the last one, which is the signature, and I will just copy this entire thing. Control C, Control V, then add to PayPal account. Now in most integrations with most other platforms, even on MailChimp, Shopify, and a bunch of other things, you'll always need these credentials. Even on some WooCommerce plugins and on some WordPress plugins, if you need to use PayPal, you're going to have to need these credentials. So in most cases, when you click on the option 2, it will give you these details, and you can copy them and use them for whichever area you want to use them. So let's come back here and let me see if my integration is successful. So if I come here, let me see what I have. So the integration is now active. You can now add PayPal buttons using the newsletter editor and landing page. So you see, even on the landing page, once you integrate your PayPal, you will be able to use the same integration. So if you want to, if maybe you're doing this on a public area, once you're done with it, you can just click remove, and it will remove the current signatures and create new ones for you. And that is what I will do, even though this is a PayPal account that I don't really use. I'm just going to do that. So let's go back to our newsletter, and you can see right now there's nothing here. Okay, let me come here, and I want to save it as a draft. After saving it as a draft, I will exit. And then now the next step, I want to go into PayPal and create buttons. So buttons are a way for you to sell products directly using PayPal. So I can just click on seller preferences once again, and in the next video we are going to click on the alternative for PayPal buttons right here, and then we are going to create our buttons. And once we do that, we'll be able to come into the newsletter. Let me go into my newsletters and here into drafts. So this is a draft that we created. After we've created our PayPal button, we are going to come back here so that we can see how we can integrate it. So in this video, what we have done, we have integrated PayPal with GetResponse. And in the next video, what we are going to do, we are going to create our PayPal buttons. So if you're not already here, make sure you're here with me in the next step. I will see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. In the last video, we connected PayPal to GetResponse. And I hope you did the same as well, so that you can follow along with me. In this video, what we're going to do, we're going to create a PayPal button so that we can add it to our email template. So let's go to PayPal, and on PayPal, if I just come here to summary and I scroll down, I can click on seller preferences. So it doesn't matter which PayPal you're using. Even if you're using the business account, just find something to do with seller preferences, okay? And once you get to the seller preferences, what we're interested in is the PayPal buttons. So under the PayPal buttons, I will just come this side and click on update. So here what we're going to do, we're going to create a button. So a PayPal button is just a button that you can maybe put on your site, or you can just have a link such that when people go to that PayPal link, they will be able to purchase something, or they will be able to donate something, or they will be able to subscribe. In my case, I want to assume that I have an ebook and I want to sell that ebook via PayPal. So I'm going to create a button with that in mind. So if I come here, I will click on create new button. So we also have these ones by default, and you can just choose one of them. Just click here and edit that button. But in this case, I don't really want to do that. So I will just click on create a new button. So if you want to create a new one, come here, click on create new button. And that's what I want to do. And then you will land here, and this is where we're going to create our button. And then we're going to go back to GetResponse and see what we can do in the email template. So here we have different types of buttons. I can choose the type of button that I want. You can have a shopping cart. So a shopping cart, of course, will have, maybe you want to have different products. This will enable you to have different products. But as I said, I just have an ebook. So if I have one ebook, let's say maybe it's a GetResponse ebook, okay? And that's the one that I want to create a button for. And you can see you can also have donation buttons. You can have subscription buttons. So for a subscription, everything will get handled via PayPal. So at the end of the month, or at the end of the whatever period you'll set, PayPal will alert your subscribers so that they can subscribe again to whatever subscription you're selling. So in this case, I just want to create a buy now button. So I will click on buy now, and let's call it GetResponse ebook. And then let me just copy this, Control C. So you can give the item an ID so that if you have many items, you will be able to identify them. So this is optional, but you can put whatever you want here that will enable you to identify it. Then you'll add the price. Let's say my ebook will be $17. You can also change the currency to one of the supported PayPal currencies. So let's continue scrolling down here, and you can customize the button. So you can see this is how the button is. you can add a drop down. Maybe you have different alternatives. Maybe let's say you're selling a shirt, okay? And with a shirt, you can have different colors. So if you want to add drop downs, you can add drop downs, and then you set the various prices for them and the various options for them. Maybe black, maybe there'll be another one which is plain. You can have another one that has designs, and maybe there would be different prices. And then once you're done, you can click done. In this case, I don't really need any of that. So the same is here. You can add options for them, and you would give them the different parameters. So I just want to have a button. I don't want to have any of this. And this will work nicely for me. So of course, you don't have any shipping. You don't need any tax rate. And if I scroll down, so we're not interested in the inventory because this is a digital product, and I don't think I really need to deal with inventory in a digital product. So of course, I'm interested in this third part, which is customize advanced features. This is also, these two are optional, but for this one, there are things that we need to add here. So let me see. Do you want to let your customer change order quantities? Not really. It's a digital product. Can your customer add special instructions in the message to you? Not really. Do you need your customer's shipping address? No. Take customers to this address when they cancel their checkout. So maybe you can create a web page such that if they cancel, you can take them back and at least try to encourage them. Hey, I see you just canceled the checkout. Maybe it can be a little survey. It all depends on you. And then once they finish the checkout, maybe you can take them to a thank you page, or this can be the page where they get the download, or this is where once they go to this page, they will get the product that you're selling. Or you can give them further instructions, or it can just be a simple thank you page. So just with that, I can click on create button, unless there is any field that I haven't added, but I can just click on create button. So after you create the button, add your button code to your web page. So you can take this code the way it is right now, okay? Just the way it is. And this button, you can put it anywhere, any HTML page, and it will work seamlessly. So this is if you want to put it in a website, then you see this option here. You also have the option for email, whereby you can just have this link, and you can share this link with people. You can take this link and share it via email. So in this video, we have seen how you can create a simple PayPal button when you want to sell things, when you don't really have a website. You can see in this case, you don't really need a site. As long as you have this link, you can just take people to a checkout. So I didn't design my page really well to tell people what it is, but in most cases, if you're sending them a link, you probably have some text that you've already shared with them. You have some copy that they have seen. So let's say that I come here and open a new private window, and then Control V, enter. So you see it takes us to PayPal, and you see it will bring them to this checkout, and they can pay using PayPal. We are going to come back to PayPal. We are going to come back to GetResponse, and then we are going to edit our template, and we are going to go back to the option of PayPal and see what options and settings we need to provide for GetResponse in order for it to work with PayPal. So I will see you in the next video. But just a recap, in this video, what you have done, we went to PayPal to create a PayPal button, And to do that, I was here in summary, then I clicked on seller preferences, and then I eventually ended up PayPal button. After clicking on PayPal button, I created a new button, and that's the button that we are going to use in the next video. So I'll see you in the next video, and if you have products that you want to sell in this manner, just go ahead and create your products. And if you want to learn more about this, just go online on YouTube especially and search for more information about what else you can do, because I didn't really cover everything extensively, but the knowledge I've given you is enough for you to start selling anything, whether it's digital or is a physical product. The most important thing is you can get payment via PayPal. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. Let's go right away into editing our newsletter. And if you're not already here, you'll come into messages, go into my newsletters, and if you have the draft, the same way I do have my draft here, you just click up here on draft and it will bring this option, and then I can click to edit it. We don't need to change anything here, so I'll just click next step. Welcome back to the template, and this is the one that I created, and as I told you, you can design yours however you wish, and I've shown you how all of this work. So you can design yours to look however you wish. You can use images, you can use text. It's entirely up to you. So right away, I want to come down here into PayPal. I want to come here into PayPal, and you can see the button that we created is now showing up on GetResponse. Okay, and you can also change the call to action in PayPal. I've shown you how to buy this, how to create this button. What I can do is, let's say I add a block. Let me add one of these blocks. Let me just add a block of text, and I add it right there. And then I say go and buy my ebook or whatever you're selling. So this ebook does not exist. Don't try to contact me if you can buy it. It is not in existence at the moment. So I can increase the font of this to 26 and then click the button below to buy it right away. And I can also increase the font size of this to 19. And then let me go back into PayPal, and I can drag my button. I can drag it in there. So you can see it's just a normal button. And if I click on it, you can add. And if I click on it, you see it shows us all the buy now buttons that we created on PayPal. It will show you all the buttons that you have created on PayPal. So make sure you give them names that at least will be easily recognizable by you. So in my case, the one that I wanted to use was GetResponse ebook. And I can change the color of the button to some kind of blue. Say okay. So when I was creating this button, you notice that I didn't add a link. Let me click on it again. And if I click on it, you notice that I didn't add the link. The link will automatically get added. Once you choose the button here, the link will get added here. If you only have one button, this can seem redundant, because you're probably thinking, why can't I just create a button and then I add the link for my button? Where this can come in handy, or it will save you a lot of time, is let's say you have lots of products and you come to PayPal and you create lots of different products. If you do that, then this can help you, because you'll see that you won't have to go back and forth in creating lots of different buttons and then adding the links. So if you have lots of them, this will be better, because you'll just drag this wherever you want to add it, and then you'll just choose the product that you want to link to here. Maybe it's a subscription, maybe it's a donation, or it's an ebook. Like in this case, it was a simple ebook. You can also just create a button and just add the link without really integrating this with PayPal. In brief, the overall benefit of linking your PayPal with GetResponse is the fact that if you have lots of buttons that you've created, it will make your work really easy. You'll just select the button that you want to use in whichever region, and then everything will just work out of the box. So I guess that's it for this section of email design. We've gone through everything here. We've gone through all the elements here, and we know how to use all the different elements here. So I didn't tell you what this is. Up here, you have this, and this is the width of the email. So if you want to increase the width, you can just come here and increase the width of your email. So this is 600 pixels, and this is how wide your email will be in general. And if you want to change the background color, you can change the background color here. Let me select a color, a different color here, and I will say okay. And if I do that, you'll see that the background of the email will change. Of course, I don't want to use that. I want it to be transparent, no color. And you can also add an image. If you want an image as a background, you can come here, add an image as a background. So it's entirely up to you to design your email however you want. And then this is for spacing. So the best way for me to demonstrate this is by at least changing the color. So let's say that I change that color. I can just click on it, and if I click on it, I can either choose padding at the top, and then I will increase that. Let's scroll up and see what's changing. And then you can also change the padding at the bottom. And for this specific element, if you want to change the padding for each of them, you'd have to change them manually in each of these elements. For example, if I click on this one, I can change the padding, and you can see the padding here. So if I do that, it will create spacing in there. And then if you want a border radius, you can add a border radius. It will give it some kind of a radius at the border. It won't be a complete square. And then you can choose how you want to align everything. If you want everything to be aligned on the left, just click there. If you want everything to be aligned in the center, you'll click there. Now this is the overall background. Let's say we make the background that. So you see everything will be that color. So this is the overall background of the email. It can also be an image if you want it to be an image, but I want it to be transparent. I don't want any color. For this one as well, I want it to be transparent. I don't want any color. So one thing I have to tell you about this email editor is that this is how you'd expect that your email is going to appear on small devices. Let's say maybe Gmail on Android or Gmail on iOS or whichever phone you're using. In most cases, you'll find that it won't be exactly like this, and the reason is because there are different email clients, and maybe it won't appear the same for different email clients. This code is being generated. If you're writing this code yourself, then you can handle most of these issues using code, because you can just test them out one at a time and see what you can change. However, for this one, you're going to find that even if you send this email to yourself, you're going to find that probably the entire email is going to be squished up. It is just going to be the same design as this, and it will just be squished up to fit your screen. So when you create your template, it's always good to know that there's a possibility it won't exactly be like this in all email clients on mobile phones. Alright? So the best thing for you to do is to build things in a vertical manner. And what I mean by vertical is that you, instead of doing things the way I've done here, you can put everything in a manner that everything is on its own. So even if it's on a smaller browser, even if it's on a smaller device, everything will still be clearly visible. And another thing also, which is also very important, is for you to make the text just bigger. Okay, make the text larger, and even if it's on a small device, the text will still be big enough and will still be legible. We have learned everything we can learn here, and by now I'm sure if you're feeling curious, you can try anything and see what results they will bring for you. You can also test the message. If you click here, you can click send a test message, and then you can add an email, and then you'll see how the email appears in your email client. You also have an inbox preview. Feel free to preview this so that you can see how it will supposedly appear on different email clients. And then you can also check out the spam score. Let me just click here so that you can see the spam score for the email that I've created. You can see what it will tell you here. It tells me -3 and the maximum allowed is 5. So if it goes past 5, you will need to change your message. So if I put my browser at full screen, I can close this, and that's it for this video. And this video is going to mark the end of the tutorials that are related to the email designer. So by now I'm sure you're confident enough to use all these tools and sections that we have over here. So I'll see you in the next video when we continue from here.